everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me on this video. Today's video is another weekly grocery haul. They seem to come round so quickly before you know it. In fact, I always kind of worry when I'm ordering the food for the week. I think, oh, how's this gonna last? But before I know it, I'm ordering the food for the next week, so we do get through it. So this food shopping is food shopping I did online with Ocado. I am trying to go to a few different supermarkets as well, because I'd like to see which one is the most affordable. But to be honest, I do always fall back on Ocado because it's easiest. I don't have to go out anywhere, like for example Aldi obviously doesn't deliver, so you have to go out there. Ocado is great for vegan food, it's great for everything, you can get everything on there, and it does seem to be competitive with the other supermarkets. So I did get a little tiny haul from Tesco a couple of days ago just to tide us over because we had run out of a few of those basics. But this is our weekly shop, and this is what I am hoping is going to last us until next Sunday. I've done a little meal plan which I will add on at the end for anyone who's interested in kind of what I'm doing with this food. A few things I have had to stock up on because last week and the week before I did sort of like a cupboard freezer inventory where I went round and I just literally wrote down every single thing that was in my freezer, fridge, and all the back of the cupboards, because I wanted to use it all up, because I was kind of sick of things sitting there weeks and weeks and weeks, new stuff being bought and put in front of it and it never getting used. Excuse me. And it never getting used. So I did the inventory and then I just tried to kind of make meals using those bits and bobs, and it was actually really nice. So we finally ran out of things where usually we've got like loads and loads of packets with a little bit in each of them. So there are a few things that I've stocked up on that we did finally run out of. So for those of you that are new here, I am George. I am a mum of 3 boys, so I have a family of 5 to feed, and we are also a vegan family. So everything that you see here is plant-based, egg-free, dairy-free, and meat-free, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start here where I have put all of the fridge stuff, so fruit, veg, and anything that goes in the fridge. And you'll see that there's probably a lack of fruit here, but that is because I do tend to try and buy the fruit myself, just because when it comes to things like berries, it's nice to be able to have a look and sort of choose the ripest ones, the ones that look the nicest. So a couple of days ago I got a few bits from Tesco, a few bits of fruit. They're still in the fridge, and there's probably a few more bits that I want to get, and I'll just pick them up at my local Waitrose down the road. So for now, I just got bananas. I got 4 bunches. Probably looks like a lot, but to be honest with you, this will probably only just get us through the week, because as a family of 5, we all pretty much have a banana a day. Well, maybe not all of us, but so as you can imagine, 1 bunch pretty much gets us through 1 day. So definitely bananas. We don't tend to like to eat them like this when they're sort of still green. I do wait until they are nice and yellow or brown, sort of got brown spots on them, because that is when they are their sweetest and ripest. So I've got the bananas. The only other fruit, if you class kind of dates as fruit, I got a pack of these fresh medjool dates. These are honestly the best. If you've not really got into dates, or you're like me a few years ago, I just used to think of dates as those kind of shriveled up dry things in the dried food aisle, but you're going wrong, because you need to get these. They're in the fresh bit where the fruit is. Medjool dates I find are the nicest, and yeah, they need to be fresh, soft and gooey like this, and they're just like caramel. You can eat them on their own if you're fancying a healthy sweet treat, but they're also really good for baking. I put them in as a sugar alternative, a sweetener for all the baked goods that I do. So yes, medjool dates as well. Veg wise, I've got a big bag of carrots. We always get through those. They either have them raw as snacks, or I make my cheesy vegan sauce with some carrot as well, so I always need carrots to hand. I've got some of this black kale, which I'm going to have to accompany some of my meals. I also do put it in the boys' smoothies because you can't taste it, but it's a great way of getting kale in. And a big bag of spinach. We always go through 1 big bag like this a week. I put it in sandwiches, I chop it up finely and put it in pastas, and again, green smoothies and green pancakes. I've got a nice, oh that's lovely, a nice big one they've sent, a nice big cauliflower. I'm going to make cauliflower wings this week. I will try and do a recipe for that on here or on my Instagram page, because I discovered cauliflower wings when I first went vegan and they were just delicious. So I definitely want to do that this week. I've got some lemons and some limes. I've got avocado. I've got 4 here, but again, avocado is another thing that we get through, you know, possibly 1 or 2 a day. They're a great food, especially if you're plant-based. So I've got 4 there, but I might need to top up during the week just on those. I've got some parsley just to accompany some meals. I've got some button mushrooms because I'm going to be doing like a vegan chasseur in the Instant Pot, and I'm going to put some button mushrooms in there. I have got some of this Meatless Farm mince meat. We love this range. They do lots of really good vegan meat alternatives now. They look so realistic. It's really kind of freaky, but this one's really nice, and it's good for bolognese. I've got some of these tofu frankfurters that my boys really like in their lunch boxes. I saw this and I liked it. We love this company. I get their tofu. So as you can see, I've got these extra large tofus. I've got several of them. I eat quite a lot of them. I make tofu sandwiches. I do tofu scramble, which is like a scrambled egg alternative where you can whack in mushrooms and spinach and spices. And I do that for Grayson, my 1-year-old, quite a lot. So it's good to have quite a lot of tofu on hand. And from the same company, I saw that they did these southern fried bites, which I thought the kids might like. So they've obviously just got this southern fried coating over them, and I'm even sort of also looking for things that could just be snacks, because the boys at the moment are just so hungry all the time. I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and the older 2 especially are always asking for food. No sooner have they finished a meal or a snack, they're on to the next thing, and it's hard to keep giving them healthy stuff, and you do find they end up just digging into kind of junk. So I thought these sort of things, you know, if you've cooked them up and you have them in a box, they're a great kind of grab and go snack to have. And then I got these mini cucumbers, 2 packs of them. These are really great because they're sort of a grab and go, again, really easy snack, and they go really well in lunch boxes. Then yogurt, we always get these Nush almond milk, like they're like Froobs, so they're yogurt tubes, and the boys, again, they're really great, handy for lunch boxes and things like that. Then also Nush do this lovely cashew milk yogurt, which is a lovely thick creamy yogurt that I top Grayson, my 1-year-old's porridge with. You can put it on top of porridge, you can have it on its own. It's really, really lovely. Then I got a soup. This is my favourite soup, this rustic vegetable broth with kale, lentils and quinoa. I love that soup. So for a lunch, that's a really easy kind of mum lunch to have. I got some more. Every week we get one of these, the Violife dairy-free grated cheese, which goes on top of pastas and things like that. And then, and these 2 little pots, these, oh my goodness me, these are amazing. So they are little kind of little chocolate pots that are, the basis of them is avocado. So they're super, super healthy. So they, why won't it focus? Hang on. Look, it says, I only contain avocados, cashew nuts, cocoa, dates, water and natural flavourings. They are lovely. This is the chocolate orange flavour, and there's also a salted caramel flavour. So I just wanted to start, having little healthy treats after dinner. So those 2 I've had before and they're really nice. And then frozen stuff, I got the corn vegan burgers. These are really nice. You have to kind of do a bit of trial and error with the meat alternative burgers and meatballs and things like that, and then you find one that you like. These ones are really good. They've already been massacred by Grayson, who was helping put away the shopping. Then Linda McCartney range that I always bang on about because it's a wonderful, wonderful range of vegan meat alternatives. We love the pulled chicken, the vegan chicken that they do. So I'm going to put these, again, I might use these in the chicken chasseur, the kind of vegan chicken chasseur that I'm going to be doing. They're really great added to pasta sauce with pasta. And then I also saw these, which were intriguing. I saw a couple of them which were not vegan, a couple of flavors, and I thought, oh, they don't. And then I saw that these ones they had were vegan. So they're called Little Moons, soft mochi and vegan ice cream, Belgian chocolate. So I think they're just little, like, chocolate ice cream bites, little ball things. So they looked interesting, 6 of them. Then kind of more cupboard stuff that I got. So in no particular order, I got my Lucozade Zero. They still have an offer where you buy 3 buy 3 get 1 free, but I just felt bad keep buying so many of them. I do get through it a lot. What I also find with Lucozade Zero is, especially in these big bottles, that the fizz goes really quickly, like once you've opened it a few times and poured a glass, and once the fizz has gone in Lucozade, it's really not nice. So that's the downside, but I got 1 of them as my treat. Then milk wise, we usually get the big version of these, the Outpro Growing Up milks, but we've got tons of them in the cupboard, so I didn't get any more of those. But I like to alternate between that one and this Oatly drink for Grayson and the boys, because this one's also fortified, so I got that. These are the mini Outpro Growing Up milk soya milks, and I pop one of these into lunch boxes, so they're really handy. I got some silken tofu, which is tofu that doesn't go in the fridge, and it is better for like sweet things, so I make smoothie bowls with them and like ice cream with them. I got some cashew nuts because I use these to make cashew cream, which is lovely, and I also use them to make my cheesy sauces, my vegan cheesy sauces. I got a packet of pre-lentils because, again, really handy for my lunches or even for Grayson. I got a couple of boxes of oats for porridge, for pancakes, for baking. I needed to stock up on some rice because we had used most of it up, and I saw this one which looked really interesting. It's a mixture of basmati and smoked quinoa, which I thought would have a really nice sort of flavour to it, so I got that one, and I'll just stick that in my rice cooker when I make it. I got these brown lentils in this glass jar. I really like those ones, and I often just sprinkle them into lots of Grayson's meals to add some protein in. We had completely run out of this, which we have on the go all the time. This is nutritional yeast, so it's got added B12, which is really good, and they're like these little flakes that give things like a cheesy flavour. You can pretty much sprinkle it on top of everything, and we had finished it, so I got another one. We always have one of these in the fridge because this is what my middle boy basically lives on, pesto pasta. He's very fussy, so I need to always have one of these to hand. So this is the Sackler vegan pesto. I got this sauce, which is a dill mustard sauce, which is vegan, just to kind of drizzle on top of salads or to put with burgers and things like that. We had completely run out of almond butter and peanut butter, so this is the Pip and Nut smooth almond butter. I think they were on offer, and this is the Pip and Nut smooth peanut butter, so I alternate between those two. I got some passata for some of our meals. I got 4 tins of chopped tomatoes. Then, like I say, when I did that inventory and we used stuff up, we used all our pastas up, so I got 2 big bags of penne because we just get through so much pasta. And I also got this cartwheel pasta just as a different style, and I also got this gnocchi. Now we did this last week. The 2 bigger boys were a bit sort of like don't really like it, but Grayson, my 1-year-old, loved it, so I got it again mainly for him. And they're mini ones, so they're smaller than like normal gnocchi. I think they're great as an alternative to pasta for kids. Then I needed to stock up on a few spices. Cumin, which is like one of the spices I use for everything. I didn't have any. Well, I did. I bought one last week, except rather than ground cumin, I got the like cumin seeds, so not quite the same. And some garam masala, which is good for curries and things. I got some of this agave nectar maple flavour, so it's kind of like maple syrup, but it's got the maple flavouring more, and it's agave nectar with maple flavouring. Then I got some vegan Worcestershire sauce. I got some of this just because sometimes I try not to use any oil when cooking. I use water a lot in place of oil, but sometimes you need just a little bit, and I just thought the spray one is actually really good, and this one is like a creamy coconut oil one, which is nice. So I got one of those. I got some hot cross buns, which these ones are accidentally vegan. Some are and some aren't. You just have to check the ingredients on the back, but we know that the Waitrose ones are vegan, so I got those. And then other bread products that I got some tortilla wraps to do like fajitas. I got these Warburton toasty pockets, which my eldest really enjoyed having last week. I just put a slice of the Violife dairy-free cheese in it, and then I pop it in the toaster, and he was actually having them like as a breakfast, so that worked really well. I get these thins because these go really well in lunch boxes. And then I got some Warburton's cinnamon and raisin bagels because I love having those. I even love using these as like a burger bun. Sounds kind of crazy because they're sweet, but it's that sweet savoury thing that actually works. I'm back. The memory card was full, so I had to just go and change it. So that's all the bread stuff that I got, and then I got these cream crackers which the boys have been really enjoying this week, and we've kind of used quite a lot of them, so I thought I'd get another one just to add to that. And then kind of baby stuff, well, kid stuff. I got some of the Carrot Cake Organics soft oaty bars. They're really good for snacks. Then I tried these out last week. I just bought like 2 of them to see if the boys would like them, and they did really like them. So I stocked up on a few more. I think they had a bit of a deal on them. So I got the apple and blackcurrant flavour and the strawberry flavour, and they're just jelly squeezes. So in a pouch, a jelly. Again, good for snacks, good for lunch boxes. I got, Grayson really likes these melty veggie sticks from Organics, so I put them if he's having like a snacky kind of lunch. And I love the Organics little kind of puree pot things. This one's butternut, hang on, let me see if it will. Butternut squash, tomato, lentil and olive oil, and this I'm going to put with the gnocchi. So it's really good to use as a pasta sauce because it's just all healthy ingredients. One thing I didn't show you over here, I just remembered, was some potatoes. So I got sweet potatoes. As always, we always have sweet potatoes. I tend to slice them up really thinly for myself and bake them, and then put a little bit of salt on. It's basically like healthy crisps. And then I also got a bag of the white sweet potatoes. So these ones have white flesh, and they're actually really delicious, but you can't get them many places. Ocado and Sainsbury's, I think, are the only 2. So that is all of the food. I'm going to put that all away now. So like I say, hopefully this is going to last us a week. I'm really trying hard. That was my kind of New Year goal in mind, to really budget, because we sat down and worked out how much we were spending, and it was ludicrous. I still find there is an amount that I just can't seem to get below. I do see people buying stuff for like amazing amounts of money, you know, spending like 50 quid a week on family food, and I must say I struggle to get it anywhere near that. But I think for me the first step is cutting out those bits, the little odd shops during the week, because they are killer. They're a 30 pounder at a time, you know, before you know it. So if I can cut those out, then even if my weekly shop is perhaps, you know, an amount, it's not going to be kind of with all those additions, so we are going to be saving money. And then once I've kind of cut out those bits and pieces, and once my meal planning gets really underway and I've done like several consecutive weeks of it, I'm hoping that then I can, you know, be even more sort of budget even more and get it down. But if I will now just quickly show you what my meal plan for the week is, so that you can see kind of what meals we're going to be doing. I didn't have as much time this week. What I'm trying to do is plan everything. So like breakfasts, even if it's not like every single day exactly what, but just like maybe a group of breakfasts that you're gonna have that week. Do you know what I mean? So the options are going to be cheese toasties, porridge, pancakes, you know, so you have that. And again for lunches, because I've got packed lunches to think about, then I've got Grayson and my lunches at home. You also forget about lunches at the weekend. I find I don't think about those. Then it comes to the weekend and everyone's like, what are we having for lunch? And I haven't really kind of got much left in. And then dinners, obviously. And dinners can be troublesome because we don't always all eat together, because hubby isn't here when the kids want to eat early. So sometimes it's kind of the kids' meals and then us. Plus I've got a fussy eater. All those things need to be taken into account. But I will briefly show you kind of what I've managed to scribble down. As long as there is something scribbled down, some sort of plan, I think that is going to set you up for a better week, and for less waste, and also less time spent thinking about it all. So yes, I really hope you enjoyed this. Please do leave a comment down below if you enjoyed it, or if you are planning on making any vegan meals this week. Please do give it a like if you'd like to see more of these sorts of videos, and remember to subscribe and click the little bell for notifications of when I upload more videos, which I am doing regularly every week now. So yes, I will see you all next time. Bye.